Hi out there. Great to meet you on this platform. My name is James Komolafe, and what a pleasure having you back to school via the courtesy of the School of Articulation and Behavioral Alignment Resources, aka the Saba Resources. In Saba Resources, it is 100% family values for optimal efficiency. Welcome to this discussion. The title of this whole course for 3 weeks within your WhatsApp is How to Relate and Release Your Personal Perception. Perception is key at such a time as this. You must have received this information via a one-pager with that title, and the highlight giving us your ability to recognize how perception works, how you can sharpen your own perception and become more sensitive, and then how to pick vital details of life, especially at this time. It will also teach you how to convert your perception to productivity, and then how you can take perception checkup and move from perception to final decision. We sue for your cooperation in this study. This study has been broken down into 5 stages. Stage 1, you are going to learn 7 reasons why we struck from the Saba Resources Management Team. And 2, you're going to understand the world of personal perception and the 5 critical issues around perception on a personal note. The 3rd stage, I will show you the 7 articles of perception cycle. The number 4, you're going to learn the 15 hallmarks of personal perception. And last but not the least is the final notes and the quiz for you out there. Welcome to the show. So number 1, the 7 reasons why we struck. Congratulations, a new normal is in town, and it is here with us, courtesy of COVID-19 pandemic. So because of this new normal, it is no longer business as usual. Somebody said competency out, capability in. Meaning what? 7 things. And number 1, COVID-19 pandemic has raised the game of life. So it's no longer business as usual. Point number 2, time is of the essence. So sensitivity to yourself and your surrounding is critical. Number 3, best outcomes in the face of multiple opportunities that COVID-19 offers are just within us. You need to see it in order to seize it. Number 4, no room for trial and error anymore. You know what? Precision is king. Number 5, times are hard and resources are scarce and also limited. Number 6, errors in your personal errands are no longer forgiven. It's a law of karma. What you sow is what you reap. So the earlier the better. And then last but not the least, number 7, we want to see how to stop undesirable venture. It is pointless beginning a journey you know will not be successful. So this program is to say, hey, no loss, no more losses. So you need to know what to do, how to do it, where to do it, and why you are doing it. So what's the second issue in this class? Understanding the world of perception in 5 issues. Number 1, perception is the world within you that you conceive and construct for the purpose of manifesting it on the outside. Number 2, Perception is the world you see and frame either for opportunities or oppositions that you have. Because in life, the way you see it and frame it, that's the way you have it. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Then number 3, perception shapes your view and mobilizes you to organize your world within and around you. Number 4, as you have ears and eyes on the outside, so also is perception. It is the eyes and your ears on the inside. Number 5, perception on a personal note. In fact, Perception 101 says, don't look out first. Look within you for the responses you give to life. And what does that mean? You must always point the searchlight to yourself when it comes to issues of life, whether within you or around you. And what do? You need to confirm within. You need to conceive your idea. You need to coordinate and compose yourself in order to construct that opinion before you give your responses in life and to the situations around you. And how do you do this? Your thoughts, your imaginations, your feelings, your actions, even your passion and motivations are very important in the school of perception. So what's the third issue? The 7 articles of perception cycle. Perception is not by no means rocket science. It is neither casting stones. So what do? You need to understand how it works. From the elementary point of view, perception works in a cycle. What goes around comes around. So what are the 7 things? It begins from information, data, given to you from you or from elsewhere, which we will study later, and your capacity to process those data, those informations, those ideas into practicable and workable action. So 7 things are involved here. Number 1, realize. You need to realize your critical self-awareness and consciousness. Because when you are not conscious of yourself, you know what? You will only be reacting. You won't be able to take things in and look at them through your inner eye. Number 2, you need to relate. It's not only good that you realize the forces of your perception, you need to relate and interact with your perception so that you can begin to allow your perception to play its critical role, because it is woven and wired in you to work. So if you don't relate with it, it will not work. Just like your radio, transistor radio, if you tune your radio to KFM 100.5, you can't at the same time get any other thing in KFM 95.6, for example. So you need to be able to relate with your perception. And then number 3 articles is reflect. So what do you do in reflecting? You think through. We call it mindfulness, which we will study in details later. Number 4, you also raise the competency of your perception to generate for you options, alternatives out there, so that you can weigh things. And then number 5, you reconsider. These are all the things that go on with you and within you within a short while. But you need to know all these procedures and processes so that when they happen, you can allow it. Because when you allow it, you will see the process also working out. So you reconsider. What do you do in reconsidering? You weigh things within your inner stuff based on the deposit you have before. And then number 6, you now respond. This is where you deliver it as an answer, either through speeches, through action, activity, and whatever. And then last but not the least, you rejoice. Now, rejoicing is a behavioral power that helps you to lubricate the forces of your perception. When you rejoice, your mood gives a reassuring gesture to your perception. It is a lubricating oil to your perception. You are saying, perception, I'm happy you deliver. And so you find alignment yourself through that. Number 4, what are the 15 hallmarks of personal perception? Number 1, perception connects with your sensitivity. When we're talking about sensitivity, we're talking about issues of your heart. 2, perception conducts your sensibilities. We're talking about the issues of the mind, the way you think, the way you reason, the way you feel. Number 3, perception carries your standpoint. Where you stand in life is a product of your perception. Number 4, perception colors your views and opinions. Number 5, perception calculates your intention for you in your inside. Number 6, perception consolidates your makeup. Where you stand in life is a product of your perception per time. Number 7, perception corroborates your confidence and increases your confidence level. Number 8, perception has the capacity to conduct your drive. That passionate appeal of yours is conducted by the forces of perception. Number 9, perception cultivates your attitude. Attitude is what you communicate to people. So perception has that capacity. And then number 10, perception certifies your world first within you before it becomes a running spree on the outside. And then number 11, perception conditions your mind. Wow, I like that. Number 12, perception confirms your deed per time. It has the capacity to weigh your deed and your actions. Number 13, perception considers your assertions and show you your point of declaration. 14, perception controls your desires from the inside to the outside. And last but not the least, on this point, perception communicates your plan, first and foremost to yourself and to your world out there. So you will do well to master these 15 hallmarks of your personal perception. It is when you master them, you will begin to marshal them, because you only flow when you know. And then what's the fourth issue we're going to study today? It is the 7 behavioral advice for you on your personal perception. Perception on a personal note says to you, number 1, be aware. Awareness is critical. Be aware of yourself internally and externally. You are not first and foremost external, you are internal. Just like a car is not just what you enter and sit down. There is the engine that power drives the car. So that is perception. You must be self-aware. Point number 2, learn to give attention to yourself first. You are in the center of the whole show from the inside. Never neglect your thoughts, your imaginations, even as the processes begins to go on in your inside. When you ignore your thoughts and your imaginations, you are ignoring your capacity to think and to reason. And that is called self-sabotage. Then number 3, you need to know that everything should attract you first. So your point of attraction means that the good, the bad, and the ugly can fly around you, but they should not control you. You are the one who decides through the power of your choice as determined by your perception. So on a critical note, please know that from this day. Number 4, you need to learn to accommodate issues, things, circumstances, and situations. Personal exploration is a major work of perception. Don't be too light. You just hear it and you are giving it back. No. You are a deep person in your inside. Fetch from your river of perception to answer questions on the outside. Then number 5, learn to cultivate the habit of acceptance. And what do we mean? What you don't accept first may never go through your personal processing. So like I said, life is full of the good, the bad, and the ugly. But you have a choice. You fix your mood per time. Don't allow circumstances to dictate your mood. Then number 6, broaden yourself for content as deposits. Do the needful by critical thinking. Be quick to hear, but be very slow to speak, so as to allow for processing in your inside before you come out on the outside. And that makes the world of difference between reacting and responding. And last but not the least, you need to learn to acknowledge the result of your perception, especially when you have gained that conviction on your inside that what you have said is correct and you are convinced about it. Acknowledge the result, which is a product of your internal deduction. So last but not the least in this episode is the 5th issue, which is the final note. I hope by now you have an insight about what perception is all about. We'll still go deeper in the other classes. And here comes the little quiz out there for you. Number 1, explain in few words the concept of personal perception. Question 2, explain to us 5 ways perception has been useful and helpful to you as a person. Number 3, how can perception help against mistakes in life? Then number 4, what is your own personal challenges when it comes to personal perception? We want to know so that we can support your effort to brace up in the school of perception. And then last but not the least in this class, mention at least 2 people, their names and numbers, that you are going to work with and connect to this class, given its importance at this hour as we begin the course in earnest. So look for these 2 people at least and introduce them to this class. Let their names and their WhatsApp number be part of your submission. And you know what? We want your submission to come in between now and 4 days. I hope you have been greatly impacted through this knowledge and competency. The perception you cultivate is the perception that constructs a great life for you as a matter of behavior and as a matter of productivity. Thank you so very much. I'll see you in the next class.